Good afternoon, lunch and learners. Once again, thank you for sharing a portion of your lunchtime with Coach Juan and I. Coach Ceci is still attending to the rehab of her house that got flooded a couple weeks ago. So she's making great progress, but the fellas are here by ourselves today. The topic for today is starting a new endeavor. And what steps should you take when you're starting a new endeavor? So, Coach Juan and I have been thinking somehow we want to make this, well, not somehow, we always want to make this very practical for you. And we were thinking we have a number of our viewers tend to be single and they're looking for something. They're either looking for their next partner, they're looking for their next passion. Doesn't have to be in partnership. They're looking for something. And I think even couples are always looking for something. Would you agree, Coach Juan?
Totally agree, 100%, Coach Bruce.
Okay. So what we have up here on the screen is what we call the Wheel of Life. And I think I have controls here. So let me see if I could actually make this a little more functional. If not, we'll just have to wing it. Um, let's see. The Wheel of Life. And tell me if we're making it more readable.
Can you just size it down just a bit on top?
Yeah.
Maybe at
How's
100. That's perfect right there.
I can go up a drop. Not that's too high. Take it back to 82. All right. So let me come back here and I want to go to full screen. So we look at various areas of our lives, and the instructions are if some of these kind of meet your areas but don't quite, so when you look at these, feel free to edit them so that they actually mirror the areas of your life. And we're looking at physical environment, business and career, finances, always finances. I got to turn my head here. Health, family and friends, romance in red. Okay. Personal growth, very noble color. And fun and recreation. And I think we did that physical environment. So, Coach Juan and I were thinking that, again, so many of our viewers are challenged by relationship. Either you're in a relationship and it's not working out as well as you would like to have it be working, or you're not in a relationship. Perhaps you were in a relationship, something happened to that relationship. And I know a lot of people end a relationship like to take a cooling off period because they're trying to think, where did it all go wrong? You know? So before we get into things, there's like steps about how to see whether or not and when we're ready for a new relationship. So that's our thought process is that we're wanting to create a course and I'm going to get special training in creating the course. One is my graphic designer. We're going to make this palatable and productive for you. I'm talking a lot, Coach Juan. Take it over, please.
I love it. I love where you're going with the Coach Bruce because you know what? The starting of a new, whether you're in a relationship or you're starting, maybe you're like me, you just ended a relationship and maybe you're thinking about jumping into another relationship. And that's something that Coach Bruce was asking me earlier. It's like, are you ready to start dating now? I said, not at the moment. I'm not ready to rush back into another relationship. Not until I get some of my other goals in order that's what I'm working towards. And what I found out too, like when you're in a relationship, when you're trying to do too many things at once and you don't have clarity, that's when we kind of like jump into those toxic relationships maybe. And and working with the structure, working with somebody, working with another coach like Coach Bruce, he's had the training to to talk about the coaching, like relationship coaching. So there's some steps, obviously some steps that you got to think about that you want to follow the structure. So if you want to have a meaningful relationship, a lasting relationship, that you're going to have some good results at the end. I think this is the great way to do it here. If you learn how to do the proper steps, you're going to have a healthy relationship.
Couldn't have said any better myself. Beautiful. And as always, our commitment is for your success. Now, just to let you know, this is going to be a paid course. It's not going to be exorbitant. We're expecting to have a number of people in it, but there'll be a start date, there'll be an end date, and we'll post more as we go along in the creation of it. And we're really looking forward to finding out from you. How can we serve you? How can we best help you? You'll have both Coach Juan and myself. It won't be at the Lunch and Learn hour. We'll tell you what the time is. And frankly, if we got a number of respondents letting us know what works best for you, that would be great. After the work hours, early morning, let us know what works best for you. And I think it will be comprehensive. We'll cover those topics that you're most interested in. But please, again, let us know specifically what you want to hear from us. I just don't want anybody to not get attended when they have a burning question. So we're looking forward to offering this to you. Coach Juan, anything further you would like to share?
No, I think we should probably cover the hourly schedule, like just to let people know you're in Central Time, like in the Chicago area. So when Bruce is talking about morning times or afternoon hours, we're talking about the Chicago area time, Central Time. So be mindful of those times. That way, I know, because a lot of times we end up working with people from different parts of the world. Some people are 8 hours ahead, some people are 8 hours behind, and so on and so forth. So we would just want to make sure that we're clear with those time zones. And I'm just an hour behind Bruce, so I'm very flexible with those hours.
Right. And we're going to have a permission slip. I don't know how you do it digitally, but anyhow, because these will be done via video chat, we will need authorization from you. The commitment will be that we will commit to confidentiality, but it's kind of like telling somebody a secret. Once you tell the first person, it's not a secret anymore. So we want you to be willing to share what you're comfortable sharing. Our commitment is to preserve your dignity and to support you as best we can, but want you to be aware we don't know what somebody else might do with your information. We will go over that in the ground rules, and we're going to ask for agreement that confidentiality is to be protected, but we're all adults, and therefore, it's like the buyer beware. So just want you to be aware of that.
Thank you. I love that. I love that, Bruce. And I think you were covering all the ground bases here. And like I said, I love where we headed with, especially with relationships, guys, because anytime you start a new endeavor, like everything has to do with the relationships, and the way that you approach your relationship is the way that you should approach anything that you do in life, whether it be in your business, whether it be a new career, whether it be even having a brand new baby. Like the way that you treat the baby, that's the way that you ought to treat everybody else, because that's the way that we want to be treated. So, and everything starts with meaningful relationships. So I love that Bruce brought up this relationship, and he's gone through the coaching, he's gone through the training, so he's prepared, he's ready to go.
I don't know with the background, if you could see it, but anybody who wants to get a jump start on the course material, it's this book here. It's called Conscious Dating. And the author is David Steele, Steele. This is a brilliant guide to dating and dating readiness. So, and David was married, divorced twice. He is now celebrating, 25 years with his third marriage. Coach Bruce was married, divorced twice. He had a 4-year living relationship that did not continue. So it's not as if we're sitting here boasting we have the secrets and you people don't. It's like we learn the secrets kind of out of necessity. We learned out of failure, and then we learned how to implement them for ongoing success. And I love what Coach Juan said about treating your relationship like your baby. I know that Coach Cecilia and I, we're in a 17 plus year relationship, and we still on occasion butt heads. And the thing that always brings us together is our relationship is our baby. We created it, and we have to preserve and protect it like we would a human child. So, if that's our advice for you today, protect your relationships, until you have a dating romantic relationship. Let it be with your son, your daughter, your mom, your father, whatever. Protect your relationships like they're your babies, because those are what nurture you. And spiritually, you have a relationship with the all-knowing, and really enjoy that one too.
And I love this, the Golden Rule Jones of Toledo. And you find that in the book, The Science of Getting Rich. It says, what I want for myself, I want for everybody. And I was listening to a Spanish speaker that he was talking about that same, but in Spanish, he's like, that his dad told him, well, the way that you want to be treated, that's the way you ought to treat everybody else. It's like when you guys graduated from college, it's like I hear the way that you guys talk to the girls and your friends. So it's like, is that the way you want your siblings to be treated, the same way that you're treating your friends? And I was like, that impacted me in such a deep way, Bruce, because we don't really think about those things when we're growing up, especially when we go to college and we're surrounded with our friends and we just want to do what seems to be fun. But the way that we treat those girls out there, how are you going to treat, how are you expecting people to treat your daughter or your sister or whoever's in your family?
Absolutely. That's such a great reminder. It's like every woman out there is somebody's daughter, is somebody's sister. And frankly, how would you want your sister to be treated? How would you want your daughter to be treated? And sometimes the girls themselves make it a challenge, but that's also what makes it interesting. So enjoy the journey.
Yes. So yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything today, Bruce. And I don't know if, Bruce, do you think you have like the link to the book if somebody wants to get it, and we'll put it at the end of the chat here in the Facebook group maybe?
I don't today, but I will by Thursday. Yeah, okay. I'll have a link, because there'll be a special link where we can actually get it for a reduced price. So, I want to make sure that I get that link for you. And this way, I don't know if it's half price, but I want it to be cost effective, because I want to get that book into your hands. So we'll have it Thursday. And when I say Thursday, it might be Thursday afternoon. So it might be the Lunch and Learn Friday. Oh, we don't do Lunch and Learn Thursdays. So it'll be by Friday for sure, Lunch and Learn. I will get that to you.
Perfect. I love that. I love that commitment, Bruce.
Yes. Very good. Again, I love this book. I've given it to so many of my friends, and every one of them has read it. They've applied it. And they said, where has this book been all my dating life? So it's a journey into self-exploration. It's not just about your partner. It's going to be, who are you? What do you want? What are your requirements? Like, if it's not there in your relationship that's currently, or the new dating or something, then move on. Your requirements are important, and once you get past the requirements, what are your needs? And those are a little bit more flexible. Like, I really need somebody who's committed to transformational, for growth and development, expansion. But if I didn't have it, perhaps I could find it through creating a group that did have it. So that might not be a requirement, but it's a need. I love participating in these ongoing growth and development conversations. And then, what are your likes? When a couple goes to a movie, what do you want to see tonight? Well, a lot of times I'm going to be, what do they call that? Not stereotypical, but, a woman wants to see a romantic movie. A guy wants to see an action movie. It could be the other way around, but, how do you manage that. So that's a want. It's not a need, it's not a requirement, it's a want, but it's important. All of those are important. You want a miraculous relationship, one that you don't have to work very hard for. And then also how to resolve conflicts. You want a partner that he or she, they take responsibility for their own upsets and they communicate. And very clearly, I would like blah, blah, blah. Oh, I could give you that. That's not a problem. And what would you like from me? That sort of thing. It's like all these things that have become grounds for divorce don't have to be. It's really learning to communicate effectively, but doing it with a head start, knowing yourself, knowing how to communicate. That's what we're about.
I love that. I love that you mentioned that, Bruce, because that, like in conflict in a relationship can either, I think, pretty much destroys any relationship. When you have too much conflict and you don't know how to solve that issue, that's a lot. And I say because I had a lot of those in my relationships that I had, that we always had a lot of conflict. We didn't know how to solve that problem. So it always ended up going down south. So thank you for covering.
Such a good point. Such a good point, Coach Juan. There will always be disagreements. So, sometimes you're going to disagree within yourself. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're working on something. Maybe you're a bit frustrated. You're not having success. So you don't have internal peace. So then you see your partner and you snap at them. So you got to have somebody who can realize you are human. They are human. We're not always at our best. And yet there's compassion and there's a way to communicate. I'm upset. I'm frustrated. I'm taking it out on you. I apologize. But that's when you have this loving relationship where that person accepts you and they know they're no different. Maybe they express their upsets differently. Maybe they speak nicer. I don't know. So they think they're not communicating an upset, but we all have disagreements. What do we do with those and how do we navigate that in a way that works for both of us?
Perfect. I love it, Bruce. I love it. I love it, Coach Bruce. So I think this will be a good place to end this conversation for today, guys. And again, if you have any questions, comments, do let us know in the chat. Post your comments on there. We're always on there looking and seeing how we can serve you better.
Yes. Adios, amigos.
See you.